Hello and welcome back to the Project Hercules Diaries, and today I want to talk a little bit about the small incidental things. For example, this base gasket, which is a 15 gauge copper plate. It's needed for the right distance between the barrel and the engine case so that the valve durations are correct. The previous compression plate we had was far too thick and we couldn't get the valve durations correct, but I've already posted a video on that. Now if you have a Royal Enfield Bullet or a XD500 or something similar, you jump onto eBay or your favorite supplier and you'd order one of these and it would come in 2 or 3 days, and you probably moan a bit because it costs 30 quid, and you probably moan a bit because it takes a week to deliver and you don't want to pay the extra 20 quid just for one part in the post. But when you've got a complete one-off special, you realise sometimes that we've been a little bit spoilt because nobody makes a base gasket for these things. You cannot buy a gasket for there which is the right size, and the only thing that you've got left is to make one yourself. Now that's taken the best part of a day to do, because we start off with a piece of copper sheet of the right thickness. So it's 15 gauge copper sheet, and then you bust out the old guillotine, minding your fingers because it's absolutely lethal thing, bearing no regard at all to health and safety because there's no guard on it or anything like that. So you cut it out roughly to size and you bolt it to the 12mm compression plate that we made earlier in true Blue Peter style. Once they're bolted together, clamped, bolted, then you can put it into the forge or on the Churchill lathe, and you can bore out the inside so that the bore's absolutely concentric. Then you can drill all of the other holes around on the mill with a block of wood underneath, and then spend quite a considerable amount of time with a file, draw filing to take off all of the rough edges and deburring all of the holes. And then you've got your base gasket. So it's one of the incidental things that just appears in some of the videos, but I thought it was worth pointing out that there's a lot of work that goes into it that isn't detailed machine work, that doesn't require CNC. The only other thing that I've managed to do today in addition is to put a timing disc onto the sleeve drive crank and fit this super elegant, super special tool that no doubt if I was in mass production I could sell for thousands of pounds, which is another piece of copper plate. And by fitting this at any point in the future, it will be much easier to set the timing of the sleeve in relation to the crank. But I've done plenty of timing videos, so I won't bore you with that. I just wanted to talk about the little incidental things and just give a bit of a flavour as to some of the other stuff that goes into building an engine. Little incidental things like every single one of these studs that we've made is now slightly too long because we don't have such a tall base gasket, and every single stud will need to be shortened. I suppose it doesn't have to be shortened, you could leave it like that, but it doesn't look great, does it? It would look far better with a washer, a nut and one thread poking out the top, and be equal all the way around. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking to do. Hope you found that informative. I hope you found it enjoyable, but I'm not going to put any too much hopes on that. Thank you for watching as ever, and more updates will follow.